Hello, Auntie Kiritz. How we doing today? I hope you're doing well. And thank you for joining the live of today. Please, if it's your first time meeting my platform, please hit the subscription button, do the bell to get notifications anytime when we live or when we post a new video. Guys, if you just joining the live, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Hit. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. It's been a while. Guys, if it's your first time joining this platform, hit the subscription button, do the bell to get notifications anytime when we live or when we post a new video. Glad to hear you doing well, Auntie Kiritz. Like the like, guys. Like the live. Let your brothers, sisters, uncle, friends knows that Mass Chef Cook is live. It's 2025. We have to set those healthy lifestyle practices skills and work on. Not working on them today and forgetting about the other days, but working on them consistently. Set those goals, guys, daily, weekly, monthly, and again, work on them. If you want to become healthy in 2026, this is the time for you to start setting up those goals again and working on them consistently. I hear you, Chef Cook, Auntie Kiritz. Yeah, busyness is what, we see in the diaspora, and it's what it takes many people if they really have to stay healthy and afloat. Like the life, guys. Please hit the like button. Let your friends, brother, sister, uncle know that Mass Chef Cook is live. This is the time for them to come grab these free healthy lifestyle practices skills. We have to say bye-bye to hypertension, which has triggering factors that some of us don't even have any knowledge about. Excess sodium, which is the common salt, the sea salt that we ingest all the time. That's what triggers your blood pressure. If you already come from, a family that has that history of hypertension running in their family, then guys, you have to start knowing how to better, going around making your choices. Because if you know that, for example, people from an African descent already have a greater chances of ending up with hypertension at some point in their lifetime. So if you have this at the back of your head, then making wide food choices that are limited in sodium, the common seafood salt, is what you should be staying from it. Eating anything in moderation is what you want to be, thinking also all the time, because anything excess in your system is a problem. It's what we call addiction. Too much sodium is not a good thing. Let me just pause for a minute and say hello to my incoming fans. Amanda Cheeser, I see you. Mac GS3, Mr. G33, hello. How are we, darling? If again it's your first time meeting the platform, hit the subscription button, do the bell to get notifications anytime when we live or when we post a new video. Anslam Kodei, I say hello. How are we, darling? Again, welcome and welcome to my platform. I strongly encourage you to hit the like. Guys, hit the like button if you're just joining the live, and let my fans, friends, brothers, sister, uncle know that Mass Chef Cook is here. Let the algorithm pick it up that I'm live. It's 2025. We have to set those healthy lifestyle practicing skills and work on them consistently and daily. If you want to have a very good outcome, you have to be someone of a very strong will to work on your goals, Because if you set those goals, you don't plan, you don't work on them, then eventually you'll be planning at some point to fail. Airman Rain, I see you. Love Puppies, hello. How are we, darling? If it's your first time visiting the page, please hit the subscription button, do the bell to get notifications anytime when we or when we post a new video. Guys, if you're joining this live, I strongly encourage you to hit the like button. Hit the like, guys. If you're just joining the live, hit the like, hit the like. We have to say bye-bye to hypertension, as I was saying. We all know what high blood pressure can do to our system. Not only can it make you to be paralyzed at some point in your life, but it damages your nerves and you end up having conditions like that, like neuropathy. It can destroy your brain cells at the same time, and you hear some people ending up with certain things that they call vascular dementia. So guys, you gotta be very careful when you're ingesting salt. Salt is good for the system because lack of sodium, you can end up having thyroid problems. But again, you gotta make sure that you're staying within the recommended daily amount of sodium, which I think is up to 2,000 grams of sodium is recommended in every 24 hours. Emran, it's actually pronounced Enran. Oh, thank you. Thank you for correcting me. Enran, thank you. Hossein, how are we? Again, if your first time visiting my platform, I strongly encourage you to hit the like button. Also hit the subscription button. And when you do that, hit the bell to get notifications anytime when we live or when we post a new video. We have to say bye-bye to diabetes. Diabetes too is another key component with our health. If you have high sugar in your blood system, guys, the chances is you actually, setting your other organs into defects, into problems, because high sugar certainly will impact the amount of blood flow in your system. And when circulation is not flowing well in your system, you can obviously have other conditions like, cells damage. If you have a wound, your wound cannot heal very well because the amount of blood that is needed to come around that area, it's impeded because of sugar. And when that happens, your wound, the chances for it to fit on the blood and heals will be very, very minimal. It will take a very long time for a wound to get healed, and at some point that wound may never get healed to a point where you can end up with a condition that we call amputation. So guys, you gotta watch the amount of sodium that you incorporating in your diet and the amount of sugar that you incorporate in your diet daily. Because not only sugar, prevents the amount of circulation of blood to reach certain body organs, but also, what about your kidneys? Sugar also affects your kidney because the next component for it to follow after you've been diagnosed of after you've been diagnosed of hypertension and diabetes, is your kidneys to actually fall. Thank you, Anman, for subscribing. Thank you. Yeah, so we gotta be very careful when we ingesting whatever we ingesting. Blood pressure, sodium is a component. Sugar is another big key factor, because the more sodium and sugar you ingest in your body, the next thing that subsequently follows is the excess amount of water that you'll be drinking to help your system neutralized. And the more water you drink, the more you need to excrete that same amount of water. And the main organ for excreting that amount of water is your kidneys. So you can now see the correlation between the kidneys and the heart and the amount of blood pressure circulating around you. And Ryan, I might pray for your dad for a quick recovery and just guide him. Tell him to take his medications as prescribed by the doctor and not to eat more than recommended. He just have to like go with what the doctor says, and I believe he will be healed. Amen. Thank you, Chef Cook, Auntie Kiritz. It's my pleasure always bringing it back to my fans so that they have it on the back of their head. What could be certain triggers, what could provoke us to end up with certain conditions if, we're not you know, um, if we're not well, if we're not making good choices about what we're doing with our daily life practices. Like the life, guys, another key component that we have to really watch, and keep tracks on, it's the amount of sleep that we need to get in every 24 hours. Normally, a recommendation is 6 to 8 hours for an adult. And we all know we are in the diaspora. We want to reach this, we want to get this, we want to be there. And at the end of the day, some of us don't even get that 6 hours of sleep in 24 hours. Guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not being judgmental either. But you have to really consider, getting a good amount of sleep in every 24 hours. Because a lot of the time, if you see people that have, I for one, if I don't get a good amount of sleep in 24 hours, at least 8 hours sleep, I won't be able to function properly like, I supposed to. So I see that a lot. If you happen to like meet people that have some sort of mental problems and ask them what did you do for a living, I bet you 75% of the population of those people will tell you they were bakeries, because every time by the hours of 4 o'clock, they're already up there trying to run their businesses. And so they don't really get that amount of sleep that they normally supposed to get. And with the sleep cycle, when you go to sleep, at first your mind will be spinning around for quite a bit. Then you fall into a very big deep sleep, and then you arouse again a little bit before you fall back again into a very big deep sleep. I'm gonna pause for a while to say hello to Mr. Greg Nelson. Thank you for joining my platform. And again, if it's your first time meeting me, hit the subscription button, do the bell to get notifications anytime when we live or when we post a new video. Aww, I'm sorry that you just did that. Oh, thank you, Mr. Greg Nelson. Thank you for subscribing. I applaud for you. Yeah, as I was saying, that getting a good amount of sleep too. Yes. And then sleeping, from 8 o'clock, it's a very good practices skill that you can do that. If you can go to bed by 8 o'clock and sleep till maybe 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., then I bet you did something good, something great for your mental health. And then sleeping at 8 a.m. can also be healthy for you if you're able to like get yourself into that deep cycle of sleep. Because 8 a.m. we all know that's early morning and people are rushing around doing this and that. You can hear your neighbors sometimes cutting their grass, and a lot of activities usually goes on during the day. But if you're able to get on your bed at 8 a.m. and sleep and get that good amount of sleep, maybe if your kids are at school, or maybe if you're living alone, then that's a good healthy practice. If you're doing night shifts, you come back home and you're able to have that good rest, then you are on the right track as well. Just only remember, if you're already doing night shifts, don't also incorporate certain things in your diet, because they say, too much sugar, too much sodium, and I would also add that, because first you already losing that nighttime sleep, because nighttime sleep is the best than the daytime sleep. So if you choose to sleep only at 8 in the morning, know that one of the risk factor, like being the nighttime sleep, the quality sleep, which is the nighttime sleep, you already missed that. So you got to monitor the amount of sugar, the amount of sodium that you're ingesting in your diet, and again the amount of caffeine, because these other three components are what will also jeopardize your life at some point in the future. We all know that caffeine usually can stay in a human body for up to 24 hours. That's when it will finally wear off completely. So you're drinking caffeine in the morning and you feel that by 6 p.m. the caffeine is already gone. No, it's still in your system. Traces of it is still in your system. So research is showing that it's only after 24 hours that you can actually have a clear system free of caffeine. So monitor that. Again, Erin, amen. All right, enjoy your sleep. Enjoy your sleep, and thank you for joining the live session. I'll see you again very soon. Thank you, everybody.